back to part two, the information that you needed to know that you didn't know that you needed to know when it comes to being a substitute teacher. Let's see here. So, welcome back, friends. Welcome back. We're going to go ahead and get right into it. But before we do, a quick note. This is about substitute teaching here in New Jersey. Some of the pros and cons. Video one were more of the pros. This list are more of the cons. The things we don't like, the things you didn't hear about, the things that you want to know about. All right. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. All right. So the first thing that you're going to have a problem with if you're trying to get into substitute teaching and this kind of industry, teaching in general, getting a license and so forth, is the change. You're going to be surprised at the change of things, the change of schedules and requirements and forms to fill out, along with being surprised overall of the process and the activities that you're going to be doing. There is a bit of a lower pay in this industry. It's not the overall highest pay, and I guess you have to find a balance of how the pay will work for you to sustain. Let's see. You know, if you have children of your own, sometimes you might find that you're spending time or overlapping. You know, you have time that overlaps where your children are somewhere else and you're hanging out somewhere with your children. So it almost, makes you have the question, the feeling of something I used to refer to as the cost-benefit ratio, the cost-benefit ratio plus the what-if factor. So, by the time you're receiving all your income from doing this, as well as any expenses that you have from participating, and your child being somewhere else, there might be a benefit for you to just have your own child, watch your own child, and put in work hours on your own. So this way you're not overlapping schedules with just trying to earn an income when you could be maybe saving, living a little bit more modestly, and achieving the goal that you really have, that's really going to put your family in the place that they really need to be. So I was going to look for another term for this, and I'm probably going to try not to say it on camera because I definitely don't want the idea to be associated with me. But there are some children, some people in life that you're going to come across, and it doesn't seem like the information that you are conveying to them, maybe they don't receive it, maybe you don't explain it well, maybe just the way that you guys communicate, it's just always butting heads. So there are going to be some times where now you're going to have to expand your circle, your sphere of people that you're communicating with, and sometimes you might find that all your interactions are not as polite or friendly as you really want them to be. You'll also have the hard reality of realizing that a lot of our school systems and a lot of people in general don't have resources right now. So it's really tough on your heart and your soul and your brain. It gets you thinking about what you could be doing and should be doing. It's really tough to see when the school system doesn't have enough resources to go around, and as well as when the child or the family doesn't have enough resources to adequately prepare the child. Because if you're already starting to see weaknesses, it's probably just going to get harder. And a large majority of people are that have their children in the public school, where my experience is gained from so far, they probably are busy working, and it's tough. It's tough. So it's hard to always have resources on hand in today's economy. Borrow, make friends, and see if you can share with other classrooms and so forth. So this is also an industry not for people where they're uncomfortable in the morning. If you're not a morning person, or if you definitely need your cup of coffee, and you definitely need maybe your 2 cups of coffee, this isn't for you. There's going to be times that, let's say once in blue moon, you might even wake up late, or you just aren't feeling it, you're a little sick, or you have an accident at the house, something falls, something breaks, you have to clean it up, or it's snowing and you're running a few minutes behind and you don't have time for that coffee. If you're that person that really needs to sit down and wake up in the morning, you probably don't want to get into this industry too much, because the kids have energy. They're going to be ready to, jump in there. The schedules start early. This is a morning gig. Also, if you have a high level of anxiety, or if you are a bit of a nervous person where you are not comfortable interacting with people or meeting new people frequently, going new places, driving in new areas, this is probably not something for you. If you have anxiety talking to people or looking at people face to face, or meeting security or children for that matter, because let's face it, sometimes they're not always saying the nicest things, and you really have to have thick skin and really have to brush it off and make sure that it doesn't affect you and it doesn't affect how you communicate and interact with the other kids. So if you're anxious, if you're nervous, if your confidence levels are not established, if you're not a firmly grounded individual, I'm not going to say that you should jump into this kind of industry. Give yourself some time, some practice. I'm not going to say ever. I'm just saying you want to give yourself, you want to build yourself up first before you do anything. You want to always build yourself up. So far in our video, I've come up with two of my favorite quotes. I'm going to throw one of them out there now. I'm going to take a little break. I'll put my thumb where we are, and I'll say, hit the like button or hit the subscribe button. Happy to see you back here at part 2. If you're from part 1, it looks like we're at 7 minutes already, so it looks like my videos are going to be drifting around that, again, that 5 to 7 minute mark. But I'm not going to ramble. Glad to see you back again. DJ Free Press, love to be here motivating you and inspiring you. Do what you do. All right, so right back into it. Out of anxiety and nervousness into, if you're out of the area. When you look at the school portal and you're looking at options for substitute teachers, you might find that there's a cluster of schools in your area where you can get work, but you also have to realize that sometimes those days will be booked or conflicting with your schedule, and you're going to have to go out of the area to get work. So you want to have reliable transportation, and you want to have the freedom in your schedule to be flexible. Otherwise, going out of the area is going to be a little painful. If you have no plan, or you're not interested in this at all, I'm just happy that you came by the video and you press like the thumbs up and you hit the like button or something like that, because I'm keeping it real with you. But this is the truth. If you have no plan, I'm going to say this is not for you. But then again, you should do something where you could do something. It's not a very costly level of entry to get into this. You don't have to have a lot of credentials. You don't have to have a ton of experience. So this is something you can get into. But if you have like no plan, you might want to just find yourself first. But this isn't an inspirational video, but this is for the cons. So cons, if you have no plan right now, substitute teaching probably isn't for you. You'll probably get sucked up into the whirlpool and not like it and waste your time. You should be doing something else that you could be doing. If you're not interested in this stuff, again, happy to see you here at the video. But if this is not for you, then these videos probably aren't for you either. But again, happy to see you here. Yeah, you could. It's a waste of time. You'd be doing, if you take the last couple of things that I said here and you add it all up. The cons list is when you don't like it, you don't like people, you don't enjoy surprises, you have your own life going on, you have your own time, and you want to preserve that, and you feel like the lower pay and the realization of a lack of resources, likewise with your own lack of resources, possibly can drive you to be wondering if this is a waste of time or if you should be doing something else. So at the end of the day, I just wanted to come back here and wrap up part 2. Happy to see you here. Looks like we're drifting in at about 10 minutes. Again, I'm DJ Free Press, here to motivate you and inspire you, give you this information, bring you some information that I have, so this way hopefully you can benefit from it. Quote, maybe I didn't throw it out before. I think one is by Abraham Lincoln, one is by JFK. The one by Abraham Lincoln is, if you give me 9 hours to chop down a tree, I'm going to use the first 5 sharpening my sword, my saw, my axe, whatever you want to use. I forget exactly what the exact quote is, because I just hang out with these quotes in my mind. Last but not least, the one with JFK. I'm going to share this with my little one later on. Think not what your country can do for you, but more so what you can do for your country. And then I like to, put that one a little bit further and more accountable for yourself. Think not what people can do for you, but what you can do for people. So again, I'm DJ Free Press. Happy to be here. Hopefully everything worked out and I get these uploaded on the YouTuber. Peace.